Bloody oath. Now, of course, your mate Greta Thunberg, she's up there, and I know she's coming over to your joint a little bit later. But now she's an adult. Mum and dad aren't going with her, and I love the quote from her parents going, "We have jobs." So these poor buggers have had to, move her around the world, or at least put her on the floating plastic boat. But she's gone, full greenie rock star, and of course that means you've got to break out the swearing. Here's part of what she said at one of her rallies outside of the room.
Change is not going to come from inside there. That is not leadership. This is leadership. Yeah! This is what leadership looks like. We say no more blah, blah, blah. No more exploitation of people and nature and the planet. No more exploitation. No more blah, blah, blah. No more whatever the they're doing inside there. We're not going to let them get away anymore. We are not. Because who are we? And what are we going to do? Climate justice, that's right.
Now, Nigel, you've been around a few crowds, and you know that there's that big moment where you live and I say, and 1, 2, 3, climate, applause line. She hasn't quite got on there, and she was working blue for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you tell everybody that we're all going to die soon, that the end of the world is nigh, and all your educational establishments preach this to young people relentlessly from the age of about 7, then it's not very surprising that we have people here gluing themselves to motorways. And this, I have to say, she looks a slightly disturbed teenager. She's clearly being used. And they've given her this rock star status, and now, in sort of Bob Geldof fashion, she's decided that public swearing is acceptable. Why we're listening to anything she has to say at all, I have simply no idea. But I guess she's been worth billions and billions to many in the climate change industry. But I thought her performance there, actually pretty shameful stuff.
Yeah, and sort of diminishing returns, right? Very obviously, we know what her value was to the movement who tried to use her as the Trojan horse, and sadly for her, the further she gets away from, the innocent teenager, speaking to the world's leaders' truths, it's going to be a difficult road ahead for her. But of course, there will be, if she chooses, plenty of money in it for her as well. Thank you so much, Nigel. We will talk to you again next week.
Thank you.
Good man. Nigel Farage there, of course, who you can see on GB News in the UK and here every Tuesday night on Sky News Live.